Hello and welcome to Darkness Ascending presents the North American Amateur Starcraft League, Season number 1, the Finals. Specifically bracket 16 of the Finals between Catechin the Zerg in the red bottom right and Jjajan the Terran in the top left yellow. They're playing Shakuris Plateau, which is a map that I would say probably favors Zerg. Any map that's relatively larger, I think Zerg typically has a good position, is well suited for, because larger maps, of course, are typically more expansion and production games, which lends itself towards Zerg play. So we have your typical startups here. Also, another thing to note is that there's really only one place to go with ground forces, which you can, if you hold onto the towers, you get a really long heads up as to who's coming and where they're coming from. So both scouts are now out, and obviously players are at the farthest points from each other. Catechin is able to make it through, is going to harass the building SCV really quickly. Jjajan is looking to have none of that, so runs him away. So if we look at that early base, we'd see that it looks like Jjajan is going for a similar, or a relatively similar strat, which is primarily bio ball based. Jjajan has blocked in now Catechin. Now we'll see, last time he did put a gas up, and that's actually good if obviously the Terran player is looking to tech up really fast. But in this case, seeing as he is going to go for more base units, I'm interested to see if Catechin is going to use the gas, or going to take the gas, seeing as it doesn't seem to really help him all that much. I can't see it helping him all that much. So we may just see the drone get killed. Alright, so let's move back to Catechin's base. We do have a spawning pool up. He did go for a fast expand, obviously before the spawning pool, because it's almost completed. We do have that drone just kind of chasing around that SCV, who's getting low hit points. Catechin did put an Overlord over at this other expansion, which would be good if Jjajan attempts to make a fast expand to his adjacent expansion here that is protected by rocks. Then Catechin would know about it. So far nothing too crazy. Creating a command center, probably going to fly it on over to the natural. Made a bunch of marines, so he's protected from any sort of early attack. So far so good. Created a spine crawl, or Catechin created a spine crawler at his natural. Is just pumping out drones. Is going for early gas. Now, as you can see with Catechin, and this seems to be very typical on either Protoss versus Terran, is to drop that creep tumor first, because you can create more creep tumors off of that initial creep tumor. It really behooves you to get it out as soon as you can, because then you can start making your creep highway as soon as you can. We see Jjajan is going to push forward already, but not, or is run off once he sees the spine crawler and the two Zerglings. But maybe he will come up for another attack, and he does kill off the creep tumor. So that's certainly not a game make or break situation, but certainly very annoying. Creep tumors are, of course, very important to Zerg, so killing them is not slows down their progress, and it slows down their sight, which is such a huge thing. So well worthwhile to lose that one SCV to stop that creep progress. So we see back in the main base, Jjajan is just creating up a bunker, getting another command center. I'm curious to see if he'll be doing the multi-command center again, which was so interesting, and gave him a real economic advantage, I think, in that other game, just because so many mules can get dropped, and when that occurs, you just have you have such an advantage in regards to the economy. Looks like Speedling has been developed, and it looks like he will be able to kill those Marines relatively quickly. We'll see if he goes and checks the other tower. I would think he would, and he does. And unfortunately, that last Marine is also taken care of relatively quickly. So we have a scouting force. Clearly, they're not going to be able to do much about anything, but they will be able to look at the base before they all get killed. So he does see that we have started to use the natural. He doesn't, however, know anything about Jjajan's tech, and it looks like Jjajan does see the layer coming up. That must have been from a scan. Catechin does not see anything in regards to tech for Jjajan. Jjajan again having that double command center, which just allows him to pump out those wonderful mules. Like, just take a look at the income tab. If you can see, Jjajan's income is practically not double, but just under double what Catechin has, and that's just that. And also, it's important to note that obviously mules do not cost supply, so it's a relatively low supply solution to your economic problems. Catechin now is double gas, or quadruple gas, I should say. We do finally have gas up for Jjajan, and just the two. We do have plenty of minerals coming in, whereas Catechin is just kind of using them as he gets them. As we see, he is going for early air. Air, of course, is a very good choice on such a large map, simply because air units are quick. So Mutalisks are a very good choice, and you would have to see that, yep, Jjajan is expecting to see some sort of Mutalisk play, because he does have those missile turrets out and ready to defend. So the reason why he does it over here is because this is a typical pathing for Mutalisks. And when they see that one turret, they don't really want to deal with it, so they will just hang on the edge. And you see here what he's doing is he's clicking in one particular position, which will clump up those units just outside of that turret's attack range. But now they get run off as one's really, really severely wounded. Catechin is moving on now to his second expansion. So we do see quite a lot of economic growth for Catechin. He's now up to 1,000, or close to 1,000, and we'll see that even go up higher once that third base is in place. We see a lot of drones being transferred to the next base. It's important to note that transferring drones is actually is helpful in a couple ways. One, because when you have a saturated drone mine here, you're not getting as much efficiency out of a drone as you do in something that's open. See this, they will never ever have to wait, so they will get the most efficiency out of them. Two is because you're not saturating when you move some drones out. When you don't saturate those the main almost immediately, then what happens is that these minerals will last longer because some of the load is being transferred here. So you'll find that your main, your second, and your third will all last relatively longer because you've spread out everything. And Catechin is now pushing for a fourth base, so we're going to see some really heavy economic ability by Catechin. So with only two bases, Jjajan is now starting to fall below the economic ability of Catechin, and we'll see, or I would assume we would start seeing some really large numbers of units of attacking units to come out relatively soon. We